Hello, hello, welcome back. We are now on episode 2. We're going to pick up right where we left off. And as a reminder for last time, we investigated the Gatefront ruins. We spoke to Melina. She is willing to turn our runes into strength. And we also met the witch Rena, and we may have learned something about how the spirit world interacts with tones, noises, whistles, things of that sort. So here we see a bunch of swords thrust in the ground, stone swords, and it looks like there's engravings on this one. This is oddly reminiscent of a bunch of stone sword monuments that are in Norway, I believe, and this is just the beginning of us starting to learn how many things that Elden Ring pulls from the history of our own world. Godric the Golden, not the Grafted, Godric the Golden, humiliated, having tasted defeat by the Blade of Mikola, now on his knees begging for mercy. So this must have been a historic spot that they laid this monument here. It seems that Godric the Grafted demigod over Stormvale Castle, or perhaps Godric the Golden, I assume the same person, maybe a different place and time when his title was a bit different, was defeated by someone known as the Blade of Mikola, and had to beg for mercy. How embarrassing. Ah, here it is. There's a little outpost over here that we want to loot. And we have bats and all sorts of spooky enemies about. I deserve that. And that's our very first spell cast. There we go. Worked like a charm. We have that icon to summon our wolf friends, which will be very helpful. When we knock somebody off a horse, we can often get a critical hit off on him. So I see him fall straight onto his back. That's normally what happens. For reasons. Do we have a moment to look at those? We do. Alright. Preparation of dried rhymed roa. Feed to Torrent, the spectral steed, while riding to vastly restores HP. So it seems interesting that as a spirit he can not only eat, but is capable of lifting us. It seems that ghosts don't act at all like we would expect them to. Get into a big old team fight here. It seems that if we can manage to get that spell to hit, it hits pretty hard. It's in a little area. Very risky, though. Have to intentionally not get greedy with that. A lump of flesh and some thin beast bones, a sliver of meat. Those are all items used for crafting. To my knowledge, they don't have any specific lore, but we'll glance at them in a moment. Kaiden riders are no joke. We'll give that another go. Steak America, where is that? It's right outside the camp, what do you know? Alright, let's do this the right way and get our money back. Shatter Earth will work better as a wake-up. I do not want to be here. Not at all. We're doing a lot worse. Well, I'm alive at least. Fight this way. We'll fight this way. I'm not used to the mounted combat. Get away. Not too easy to stumble. There we go. And we get some plastic back for defeating a group. A little rough. I'm not the biggest fan of the war pick, but we will make it work for the theory crafting and aesthetic of the character. Interesting how the other Kaiden rider was pulled, but not these wolves. We'll just go quick look at that in a second. Heard some wolves howling, I thought. Oh, they're over there on the hill. Alright, herba. Let's take a look at some of these things. Herba. Evergreen leaves that give off a faint light. Material used for crafting items. This is a very common medicinal plant. Can be found in thickets and elsewhere. And those tough enemies, let's take a look at their armor and equipment. It was very interesting. They seemed very differently dressed from the Godric soldiers. Helm worn by a Kaiden sellswords. Can't speak today, it seems. These hulking, fearless mercenaries, said to hail from the mountaintops of the wintry north, are adept at fighting on horseback. Kaiden is the name of their home settlement. Let's see. Made with the pelt of a snow wolf, which protects against the cold. These hulking, fearless mercenaries, said to hail from the mountaintops of the wintry north, are adept at fighting on horseback. Kaiden is the name of their home settlement. And it seems to be that's what it says on all their equipment. Alright, so we found the armor's cookbook as well before I forget. A record of crafting techniques left by an armor who served the great General Radon. Contains knowledge of dealing with rot, the application of fire in particular. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following: fire grease, drawstring fire grease, and fireproof dried liver. Okay, so General Radon, another named character. Perhaps we'll see more of him later. I wanted to rest the grace, actually. Alright. Whole flock of, or a pack of wolves, thrown. And what are they guarding? Oh, a little bit of money. Good for us. White Wolf, for some reason, has significantly more HP. I guess he's a bit quicker. Now we are good to head a little more south along the road. Earlier, right before that little outpost of Kaiden riders, as well as the Gatefront ruins. Actually, there's a little white speck here I want to pick up. A ruin fragment. This is actually a pretty interesting item, though it may not seem like it at first. So we've seen these ruins about in a couple places. We're covering these ruins. They're hugely decorative, very detailed, and they just seem to be here, randomly, willy-nilly. We don't seem to see any streets or anything to indicate a foundation. There's just these giant walls are here. We saw a couple more of them all the way over there by where we started, the Church of Ella. There's the what's left of the steeple there. I didn't take a time to look at the what would we call that? Stranded graveyard statue on the top. We'll have to take a look at that again. It seems like a statue holding a body reaching upward. I wonder what the meaning of that is. But let's take a look at that ruin fragment real fast. Okay. Stone fragment found near places where ruins have fallen from the sky. Can be used for crafting. These shards of stone are believed to have once been a part of a temple in the sky. They glow with a faint light from within. So that explains where these sorts of ruins came from, to a degree. They're not from around here, they're from the sky. It's a very peculiar idea. Letting us do this, buddy? I suppose so. I need those health items anyways.
Oi! You there? Could you help us out, Cully?
Somebody is speaking to us.
You? Yeah, you there? Stop pretending you can't see me. What'd you go and do that for?
So, this bush was calling out to us, and it seems to be a little creature, man. He's wearing a hat with a feather, a little bit of a mantle and a belt with a pouch, but he seems like a rat, almost. Maybe you can get a better look at him here this way. Not a very handsome fellow. He seems to be a sort of rat primate hybrid of some kind.
Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Boc. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really. Oh, what a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned. And so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me.
Gives us 10 whole mushrooms.
If you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Then I'd be of some real use to you.
So he seems very polite, fairly well spoken, and feels indebted to us. Very meek, but he's given us a little token payment and he's offering a larger reward.
Right.
Simply for freeing him.
I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them. So I have to gather myself. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
Cave on the shore, huh?
Right. I'm frightened.
Okay, and that's a repeat of that dialogue. So, cave on the shore. Well, there's a beach over here we haven't explored. So perhaps we can find this cave he's talking about and find the tasty reward he was referring to. So let's go ahead and head back to the trail. Explore off in the direction of the beach. We'll hold on to our money for now. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Suppose we can take a little bit closer look at that. The architecture seems... The architecture seems oddly consistent with the same architecture that we saw at the walls around the grafted scion fight from episode 0. It has those same little jutting out curly bits that seem to go on the steeples, the much smaller steeples there. I see some organic wavy, probably leaves. And of course, a robed figure holding a very emaciated body. Perhaps a symbol of hope, perhaps a symbol of... Maybe this is where all the tarnished like us come through. Maybe this is where they all pop out and enter the lands between. So see these, they're more or less crosses, except for the top is bowed. Maybe to make it slightly different, not so reminiscent of Christian iconography in relation to the Christ figure. It's interesting that he's, this one right here, he's wearing thorns around his neck and a hood. But very much a similar pose. Little wavy patterns on his mantle there. Who knows? We see more of these fallen ruins. Ruins fallen from the sky. An easy way to tell that they're the same ones as fallen from the sky is they have more of these ruin fragments on them. So where's the way down to the beach? Oh, what's this we have here? A very large fellow with some grip on his back, maybe a sword. It's almost got face danglies. Like, those don't seem like whiskers to me. Those are tendrils. Very bizarre. He's got a tombstone in his chest cavity? Very strange. Do a whole lot of damage to him. And he does okay damage to us. But thankfully, our attacks seem to be just fine. Ooh, that does way more damage than a critical hit. Should be making use of that. He gives us 1,000 runes. Unfortunately, his body doesn't linger around, so we can take a look at him and his golden sword a little more. Whatever that creature was, he was massive and naked. How appalling. Whole slew of birds here. In fact, I believe we may have learned how to craft bone darts, which may be helpful. Maybe. Alright, we got a handful of these birds. We get flight pinions from them. I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong. Flight feather of birds, material used for crafting items, commonly used for arrow fletching, of course, of course. I see something shimmering over here, and it's making trails in the ground. It's an easy way to do it. If you hold your power attack while on horseback, you hold your weapon out, and the hitbox is active. And we get another Ash of War, Stamp Sweep. So now that we're getting Ashes of War, we found 2 so far. We can start putting them on weapons. Four-toed Foulfoot. In the lands between, having 3 digits is seen as a bad omen. As such, the four-toed Foulfoot is a gift of great luck indeed. 3 toes is a sign of bad luck. I mean, I reckon if you started with 5, I guess it would be a sign of bad luck. Perhaps we need to keep an eye out for things that have 3 fingers on them. A strip of white meat. Okay. Let's just go through these. Let's see. Dried meat toughens constitution. Flesh taken from a bloodless creature. Very bizarre. Dried meat toughens the constitution, boosting its resistance. It's known for its long-lasting effects. Okay, so these do similar things, but one probably lasts longer than the other. It makes me wonder if the red one is more potent, but doesn't last as long. Beast liver. The fresh liver of a beast. A luscious fruit of life. Material used for crafting items, found by hunting herbivorous beasts. Dried liver boosts damage negation of some kind. Okay. Lump of beast flesh filled with rich juices. Material used for crafting items, found by hunting carnivorous beasts. Meat suitable for a rustic feast. And thin beast bones, commonly used to make. Okay. And the arteria leaf. A dark red leaves with thick, swollen veins. Material used for crafting items again. A faint pulse can be felt in the veins, stirs the blood, providing an enlivening effect. I assume when we start taking a moment to look at how all the different crafting items come together, those brief descriptions will make a little more sense. They don't seem to be too lore heavy, except for the four-toed Foulfoot. Giant octopus. No, taking a bite of your own arm, your own tentacle there. That is no good. Well, it seems that this war pick is pretty good at breaking bones for a small weapon. Or maybe these guys have relatively low posture. But these guys can be a total chore if you're not constantly slapping them in the beak. Land octopus ovary. Let me take a look at that. Very kind of gross sounding item. Puffy, milky white ovary of a land octopus. What did I tell you? Land octopuses eat humans in order to bear young, and theirs is the blood that runs through these ovaries. Ugh. Gross. And another land octopus ovary. He was on that guy. Was he gathering them? What did he need that for? Here we have a turtle. Another one of these skulls that give money when you break them. Well, let's see if he drops an item. I feel bad, because he's so cute. Oh, he's tanky. You know what? We are a foreman from a glintstone mine. There we go. That worked quite well. Turtle neck meat. Seems interesting that the neck meat is the most important part of the turtle. That was worth taking. A splendid lengthy cut of turtleneck meat, considered an especially nutritious ingredient in the south of the lands between. Okay, so maybe turtles aren't as prevalent up north, or maybe the culture is different. Ooh, that worked out very well. Oh, that's a cave, all right. And we are on the beach. Let's take a... say hello to this fellow. So it looks like a fellow dressed very much like Kale, more pale than red. And... he's It's got, looks like maybe just gray feathers. If there is a secondary color there, it's kind of bathed in orange from his fire. Let's see what he has to say.
I don't want any trouble.
Alright. So he sells neutralizing boluses. Very helpful items. Rather expensive. Oh, but he does sell the plans for making our own. So grab those. Grab the smithing stones for upgrading weapons. And... a short bow would be an excellent ranged weapon to have. Just a couple of you never know. And I like an upgraded round shield would be nice. We'll grab his broadsword and the 2 notes. Land squirts and stone digger trolls.
All done? Well, be on your way then.
Alright, thank you kindly, good sir. Let's take a look at those items. Where do we find the notes? I'm trying to remember if I took a look at the notes from last time. Maybe I didn't, so let's do that now. A note sold by a nomadic merchant imparting knowledge in brief. A flask of wondrous physics still remains in the 3rd Church of America, north of the Mistwood. Cross the highway bridge and follow the animal trail north. Highway bridge, huh? Well, this looks like a bridge. And this looks like a bridge. Seems to cross the highway bridge and follow it north, so perhaps it could be in that direction. Let's take a look at the other waypoint ruins. Someone lurks among the waypoint ruins on the road through Limgrave. Alright. Land squirts are soft where they touch the ground, and poison will cause them to rupture. Okay. The heads of the stone digger trolls bear old wounds. So I wonder if that giant monster we just fought, the one with the huge sword, if he was a troll. It didn't seem to be digging for anything. It didn't seem to be made of stone. But when we got him in the head with our Shatter Earth spell, it seemed to hit him rather hard. So maybe that's what it's referring to. I'll grab that, actually. A gold pickled foulfoot and skeletons. Specifically one with a crossbow and 2 with spears. It looks like we need to confirm the kills on the skeletons. Otherwise, their health bar doesn't go away. I bet they reanimate. Human bone shark. Oh! And an evil sludge pile. We're gonna ignore him. I wanted to look at the gold pickled foulfoot. 4-toed foot of a fowl pickled in a golden medicinal solution, craftable item, boosts the amount of runes obtained from defeating enemies for a certain duration. Since old times, the needy would scrape the meat clean even from a fowl's claw. Interesting. Boost the amount of runes obtained from defeating enemies for a certain duration. So, I believe that is a choice item if we know we're about to kill a large boss. Boost our rune acquisition. Let's go take a look at that cave. Come in here. Kicks us off of our mount. It looks like this is our very first dungeon, the Coastal Cave, and it is dark. And here's Boc. He beat us to it. Looks like he got his gumption together. But he's in pain.
It hurts.
He's just taking his sweet time on those pain noises. Alright, we get it, buddy. You're in pain. We're in a little bit of pain, too. But we'll take the time to chat with him on the next episode. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.
It hurts.